Call this meeting to order of the Cartersville Tourism Board. If you all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, Lindsay, can you read the minutes from the meetings?
Yeah, two meetings.
Two meetings,
right?
yes.
Okay. All right, so for August, the meeting was called to order. There was the approval of the July 2019 minutes. Daniel Phelps made the motion to accept the minutes as read. Tamara seconded, motion carried. Treasurer report, the balance was $20,893.53. The bicentennial balance was $33,572. L. Brooks made a motion to accept the report. D. Phillips seconded, motion carried. For old business, for the history in your own backyard, the progress continues. The campground video is online, but we haven't seen the church yet. For the website, there was no changes. For veteran stories, Mike Sparks reported he hadn't heard anything yet. For the tourism ordinance, the ordinance was 02-21. This and the innkeeper's tax forms are what we will be following and what we have been trying to follow this far. For the phone, Tamara DeGroat will continue to keep the phone for the next month. For the fair booth, the booth was started, but we were unable to be there every evening. Some bicentennial souvenir sales were completed. Mike and Jenny Sparks already took care of the tent at the fair and do not want any kind of reimbursement from the tourism board. There was a McCombs invoice. The handrail for the stage had to be modified. Received an invoice for $500, which was part of the bicentennial stage budget. There was no new business, and Tamara made a motion to adjourn. Lindsay seconded, motion carried. For the September 11th meeting, the meeting was called to order. There was not a quorum due to unexpected circumstances with other members. Grant requests cannot be voted on due to Lindsay Brooks not being able to vote for the Festivals Committee grant. A special meeting had been set for September 23rd at 5:15. For old business, the DAR grant, Donna Schroeder said that some changes needed made to the brochures for the cemetery tours. October 20th at 2 p.m. is a rededication ceremony for Vivian Allison's house in the city cemetery. Can the original grant request from April 2019 be used for a different activity? Amy Hammonds does not see a problem with this since the grant was for cemetery brochures and the change would still be for cemetery brochures. Then Diana Phillips made a motion to adjourn. Lindsay seconded, motion carried.
Do we have a motion to accept the August and September minutes?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried.
Is that Tamara seconded?
Diana.
Okay.
All right, Tamara, the treasurer's report, please.
Okay, the balance, in the checking account is $23,109.35. Of that, I guess I'll still report on the bicentennial, the remaining after we paid back, those that we needed to pay. The balance left in that is $2,613. That's also after the books have been mailed, postage, all that. So there was a remaining balance of $2,613.
Any questions or concerns?
What are we doing with that 2,600?
Well, at this moment, I don't think it's been decided. I know Mike has something which we'll talk about here in just a few minutes, that may use part of that money that's remaining in that account. All right, any other discussion on the treasurer's report?
The second balance was the bicentennial.
Correct,
Is
the
that
2,613.
Same with there were two seven, that's what I thought it was.
Uh-huh, yes. Okay, if there's no further discussion, I'll entertain a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Okay, Lindsay, do I have a second?
I thought Diana did.
Diana?
Okay.
All those in favor?
No.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, motion carried. All right, old business. We had discussion previously on disbanding the committee for the bicentennial. Mike, if you would want to, at this point, speak about the additional funds and what we need to do for the stage as far as a plaque or something in dedication or?
As everybody pretty well is aware, Jackie Church was the one in charge of the heavy lifting that got people involved, and the donors, specifically the Lions Club, that donated to the stage specifically rather than just the bicentennial in general. And at the time, Jackie was gathering up those few special donors. I think she had indicated that we would like to do some sort of relatively small, I think fairly inexpensive plaque that would commemorate what they did to help us get over the hump with that. And I don't have any figure for you. I know Jackie had done some checking earlier, and then, you know, that kind of got put on hold. But I think it would still be appropriate. She may have gotten the figures, but I didn't get them because everything kind of just got put on standstill for a
Okay.
while. But I think it would be appropriate in view of the fact that, you know, that stage really couldn't have happened without the help from the community that stepped up for that particular project. You know, we're grateful for all the donations we got for the bicentennial in general, but we're particularly proud of what was done up there at the amphitheater. So I'd just like to say it wouldn't be anywhere near that remaining balance. I think at most it would be, you know, a few hundred.
Okay.
But I think it would be appropriate for the tourism board to consider that plaque as that would be, I think, our last official act
Okay.
as a committee.
All right, so what we'll plan to do then is reach out to Jackie for that final information, and then at our October meeting, we'll plan to disband that once, I feel like once everything is taken care of and that is zeroed out, that's probably when we should disband unless somebody feels differently.
No.
Okay, all right, does that sound okay, Mike?
That's fine.
Okay.
I can get hold of Jackie. I thought
Okay.
about doing it today, I just didn't get it done.
Sure, that'd be great, and then just let us know. All right, I know that the History in Your Own Backyard has completed 3 more of the videos, and I received these plaques in the mail this past week for the City of Connersville, the Fayette County Courthouse, and then the Robinson's Whitewater Campground. So those will be given to each one of those for display.
I can take care of the city one.
Okay, perfect. Can get rid of a couple of those now, and then the courthouse will leave here. Anybody that is watching and wants to get this information, you can reach out to www.historyinyourownbackyard.com. You can look up per county, and then those will be listed accordingly to the counties in Indiana. There's also information that they give to each one of the recipients about keeping it on a flash drive, the information, as well as archiving it in the Indianapolis in the State Library. So that's another location that will be listed under. They are YouTube videos, so for those of you looking at those, they will be on YouTube. There are several counties in the state that are available to view. So we will be finalizing that information this evening as part of our old business. As far as any other old business, does anyone have anything to bring to the forefront? No? Okay. Go on to new business. We have Catherine Good with the Parks Department here this evening. She is applying for a grant. I have provided that to each one of the members last week for them to review. I'll just kind of go over it, and then Catherine can answer any questions. The event name is Movies at the Park. Catherine Good is the facilitator. This is for Connersville Parks Department at 2900 North Park Road. This is locations for this event is listed as Roberts Park, possibly Frazee Park, Offutt's Park throughout the summer and fall of 2020. This would be kind of an inaugural event, so to say, and it would be annual. As far as the expectation of the turnout of the event, it's hard to know since it's free events. It's usually hard to judge who's going to attend. Anticipation in Fayette County would be 100 plus. Visitors from outside of Fayette County would also be 100 plus. The event, as described, would be Movies in the Park, was at once a popular event that has not happened in over a decade. This would be a free family outing that people from here and surroundings could enjoy. Explain how your event can encourage overnight stays in Connors or Fayette County. The movies would start around 9 to 9:30 and last approximately 2 hours. We would hope out-of-towners would opt to stay overnight rather than drive home very late. Their advertising would include Facebook, Instagram, website, surrounding newspaper, email list, radio, Channel 3. You have backpacks on here. You're thinking like school, like at the end of the year.
Sending it home.
Yeah, send it home. Their event budget is $5,000. They're requesting a grant of $3,500. And this would be for all of the media forms that I just read off. It would be specifically used to buy the inflatable movie screen and projector. Catherine has also provided information regarding movie inflatable screens, pricing things $1,899 for that, as well as the projector, which is $1,669.98. There's a couple different ones here. So, Catherine, do you want to elaborate on your application just to kind of talk to the group here?
Sure. Do I stay here? Or do I-
You can come up
Whatever.
front if you want to stay.
Do I come up here?
Come up and
I don't
stand.
know where to go.
You're fine.
One of my goals as the new superintendent of the Parks Department is to really showcase the park as quality of life for Fayette County. I think that the more events and programs that we can bring in, the more people will use our parks, as well as people from surrounding areas will come in and use the parks as well. One of those things I thought would be very simple to do this fall was to do Movies in the Park again, because you might be thinking, well, you have that stand right by the pavilion, why aren't you using it? The reason is because the screen that was used with that stand has been left in storage for the past 10 years. It's rotted out and it's ripped and it's not usable anymore. Technology has changed. The projector that was once used is not the quality that we could even use anymore to show movies that people would want to come see. They might take a look at it and say, oh, it's really blurry. I don't really want to sit here and watch this movie. The thing I like a lot about having an inflatable screen is portability. So if I have a generator, I can take that anywhere I want to go. I'd like to do traveling movies. I want to get people out to places like Gracie and Offutt's Park to show people that those are nice places to come to. I think a lot of times people in town think of the park, they think of Roberts Park. But we have a lot of great facilities. And as far as tourism goes, I think that you know, it's kind of a novelty to have a movie outside. It's kind of a fun, quirky thing. I know there's movie theaters everywhere, but I'm picturing the concession stand running with popcorn and snow cones and people out there with their blankets. I'd like to have a sponsor. The other expense with this program is getting the licensing to cover the movies. So I'm thinking we'd have a sponsor of the night. Just make it engaging for people to do. Maybe we have a balloon person there or a face painter, or just, you know, make it something where it's out of the box enough that people might say that's fun to go do that instead of just go to the theater. And as far as people staying here for the night, again, it could be 11 o'clock before the movie's over. I'm guessing that people with young kids may not want to drive back home. And we could also plan it around, if we have these on a Friday night, we could plan it on a Friday night when maybe there's something in town on a Saturday. So there would be a reason for people to want to stay, maybe not drive back home and then drive back the next day. So that would be my goal with Movies in the Park.
And your movies probably would not, I mean, not probably, they wouldn't compete with the cinema because they wouldn't be first-run movies.
Right.
Anyway, they
Right,
would be
yeah,
popular, something
that,
popular.
we could check into that and make sure
Maybe
that.
even classic movies at times. And
Yeah, the company that I would buy the licenses from is called Swank, and you can actually get on there and check it out. And I think it's just Swank, SWANK.com. But there is just, really any movie you wanna see, I was on there. So you could do like an 80s night, you could do a silent movie night if you wanted to. You could do, I mean, just to draw different people out, you know, it doesn't all have to be cartoons or something like that, so.
Any questions for Catherine from the board?
I just have a question, just because I'm curious. I don't know if
Sure.
it says in here. I'm trying to read it really quick. But is it like just once a month, what?
My thought when I wanted to do it, I was gonna do every Friday night in September,
Okay.
is where I had started. And then I found out that all my equipment was bad.
Oh, okay.
And I was kind of deflated by that, but, my thought was to do it every Friday night in December, so I'm thinking,
December
You mean
or September?
October?
I'm sorry, September. It's a cold night.
I
you need
mean,
a
we've had
blanket.
75 degrees.
Oh, is it?
That's right.
No, I was thinking, I think it might be Wayne County, how they do it is they do every, Friday night in June in Glen Miller, and then every Friday night in July, they go somewhere else. So that would be, something we could copy. I kinda like it in the fall because it's not so hot, the bugs aren't as bad. And really with this equipment, we can do it whenever we want it. I mean, it's as simple as, you know, blowing up the screen, plugging in the equipment, and you're ready to go. So,
I think it's a great idea. Every time I go to the park and I see that screen, I'm thinking, why don't we do that anymore? Because it was
That's
a popular,
fine.
yeah, I understand, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a popular thing. when
I remember
we-
going to it. It was a blast.
Yeah.
It's like a drive-in
we
movie,
might,
except
yeah, we'll
single.
probably be taking that frame down since it's not,
Mm.
I was wondering.
yeah.
I mean, I
Cars
knew what it
goes
was
over
for,
here,
but wondering
bro.
what it was.
Sorry, historical fact. In 1900s, we had a theater called the Air Dome Theater, which is basically a drive-in movie theater before drive-ins existed, because cars didn't exist. Anyways, so that's what it makes me think of as the Air Dome Theater. Sorry, historian.
I know this might be a little premature, but as far as sponsorships and things, do you have a plan for that already in place?
Yeah, I actually already had one business committed to sponsor for September.
Okay.
So I did have one, and I was actually, you know, I've already started talking with Rotary and Kiwanis, probably prematurely, because then I found out that, you know, my equipment was not good. So that would be my plan, though. It would be to reach out to local businesses. The licenses run between $350, so it's not a huge ask.
Is that like per movie or is that?
Per license.
Oh, really?
So yeah, it's expensive, so you're only limited really by the number of licenses you can get. But really, my biggest obstacle is this equipment, because it's a lot easier to say, you know, like to the bank, can I have $350 than can I have $3,500?
Sure.
So, if I can get the equipment ready, I think people will get on board with
All
the
in place.
smaller amounts.
Sure.
And then you can sell concessions and whatnot.
And that will make us sustainable, thank
Mhm.
you, yes.
So that will be something that the Parks Department will do themselves to generate income?
I would hope so,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, if we can make enough to, you know, the more we can pay for
Offset those
ourselves, I mean, obviously
movies
the better,
For
so.
licensing?
Because we don't plan to charge anybody to come see the movie, the
Right.
movie would be free, the concessions we would charge for.
How long do you think the equipment itself would last if it was taken care of? I mean, the projectors change all the time, so eventually you have to
Yeah.
replace it. But do you think the screen would last?
I would think at least another decade. I mean, the screen could be indefinitely, the projector would probably
Mhm.
go out of date before that. John Pazzi was nice enough to give me his expertise and kind of point me toward what equipment would be the best to purchase. So that's where these quotes came from. I didn't pick them out myself, because I don't know anything about projectors.
Sure.
Now, is that inflatable screen easily positioned the way you want it, so it could actually be a position so that people could see it in the grassy area? Plus, if, you know, for handicap accessibility or whatever, people could be under the pavilion and still see it. I mean, it could be
It
an
says this here, it's
angle.
a 20 by 12, and it's got 12 anchor points, so I guess You
But you
turn
could
it however you
could
want.
position it so that
Yeah.
it would be
I
visible.
would
'Cause
think.
I know that
Are you
one.
talking about putting it in the amphitheater
No,
area?
no, but
Around
have
the
it in
pavilion,
a
you're saying?
position, no, the pavilion is what
Oh.
I'm thinking of, is, you know, you have the long grassy area and then you have the pavilion next door. If you positioned it so people in the grassy area could see it as well as the ones in the pavilion,
We could play with it and see.
if, you know, if you were.
Put it anywhere you want to, just.
Right,
Right.
yeah.
Really.
I guess.
Or even go the other way, you could
We even
actually
thought
put
about
it,
putting it in the amphitheater one night
wondered
too.
about that,
like
yeah.
and you could do
just-
that.
Depending on what,
You have the concession
Oh,
stand,
right.
you've got the seating, you've got.
And you could actually put it closer to
On the new
turn it
stage.
the other way.
On the new
Facing
stage.
west
On your new
instead of
stage.
east, yeah, yeah.
So it's not as big as the current framework, is it? Or is it?
I don't know.
I would
It says
think it-
20 by 12.
Which tell, I don't know. You have to give me a
So-
landmark.
Two grown men head to toe. That'd be the 12, right?
Mhm.
About.
Right.
yeah.
That's
I
20
know,
by
on top of each other.
It's not very tall.
So that would be,
A little over 3.
Mhm.
yeah.
It's a pretty good size.
All right, other than the size there in question, does anybody have any other questions for Catherine while she's here?
I
If
like the
not-
idea.
If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion that we approve the $3,500 grant for the amusement park.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Approved, motion carried.
Thank
you, Catherine.
very much.
I don't know whose copy this was.
Oh, that's yours.
Oh,
To keep.
I
I
didn't
emailed it,
get
but that's
one.
the one for tonight.
Okay.
All right, we have one more grant application, and this was given to us last time when we did not have enough to have a quorum. So I will present this. This is for the Apple Dumpling Festival. Facilitator is Amanda Falk. This is for the Connersville Festivals Committee. It's in downtown Connersville on October 11th and October 12th. This is an annual event. Expectation of people is 500 plus. 400 plus in Fayette County and 100 plus outside of Fayette County. The event is an annual fall festival that brings something for everyone to the community. There are other activities for all ages for families to enjoy. Explain how your event can encourage overnight stay. This is a 2-day event and will encourage people to stay overnight, to attend both days of events, and to enjoy the stop activities and contests. Their advertising budget for the event is $6,000. There is attached information here to support that information. The grant request is for $2,500. This is to pay for radio advertisement and to promote the event. One of the events they will be having is the Auto Indiana History on Wheels. This is a traveling course display. This has been in Connersville a few years ago, but they require $2,500 for that for the Auto Indiana, so for Indiana Historical Society. And the radio advertisements to promote the event are listed here from KMIX. They have a few different options on the different dates that they will be advertising. They will also have, she left us a brochure. Of course, this is a free event. They're having some food trucks, vendors, beer and wine garden. At noon, there will be a Halloween fall parade through downtown. 1 to 6 p.m. will be the Kids Corner with lots of kids' activities. This is on Saturday. And from 6 to 10 p.m. there will be the Fayette County Idol Finals. There's a contest every hour. So there's a lot of different activities, as well as Friday night there's street concerts with 2 different acts here for that evening. So the event request for the grant is $2,500. I'll pass this around for anybody who did not see it previously. Okay, anybody here? And then if I can answer any questions, I certainly will. It's a mobile, the Auto Indian is a mobile. I don't know if I've been through it before, years ago when it was here. It is a pretty interesting, kids really like it as well. Okay. If there's no questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the grant as it's written,
Okay.
which I can't remember the exact wording, so.
The Apple Dumpling
Apple Dumpling Festival.
Days Fall Festival.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, motion carried, approved.
I want on record that I abstain.
Lindsay, yes, Lindsay
County
abstained
Slate?
because she is part of the Connersville Festivals Committee, so make note of that on the minutes. All right. Other business, can fall in old or new. The updates for the website, I just wanted to touch base with Lindsay and see if we have anything new or anything else to report on current things on the website.
I have not updated it recently, and
Okay.
I've not heard from Angel
Okay.
about it either, but I can check on it.
I was gonna say, we need to make sure that some of these events that we're having are updated on there. And then make sure that, if anybody has anything else, when we get information, we'll add to that as well. So anybody that has information, if you wanna make sure to get that to Lindsay. Catherine, when you get information, will you get that to Lindsay?
Will do.
All right. Anything else from the floor? Okay. Anything else, Tina? Okay. All right.
Did you see the, you asked me about that, but we don't need.
We don't have anything here tonight for that, so we'll
Okay.
wait till next time. All right.
Oh, I have the phone.
Tamara has the phone currently. Do you want to continue the phone or no?
Nah.
Okay. All right, we'll pass the phone on to the next
Only had it
person
for a
in line,
year.
so, okay.
Good.
All right. All right, if there's nothing further, I'll take a motion for adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay.
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you.